Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, also known as the Lashawan Quadash, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans here in the Western Hemisphere, and to the rest scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth who look like the other nations, but through the patrilineal lineage go back to the Hebrew Israelites. America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, is finished. America, a.k.a. also known as Babylon the Great, is finished. Okay? Now here's a news article from VOA, and it reads the headline, China, Russia, Iran, maritime drills send signal to West, okay? And who is the West? Okay, speaking of America, because America is that hammer that, rules the earth rigorously, all right? So it says, this photo released March 12th, which is a week ago, 2024, shows an Iranian Navy missile corvette at sea during the Maritime Security Belt 2024 exercise involving Iran, Russia, China, and the Gulf of Oman, Iran Defense Ministry, okay? And Iran, China, and Russia is part of the BRICS, the new BRICS alliance, all right? So, they just trying to show the West what type of power they got, all right? And that they're not so far behind as they once were back in the, what do they call it? The coal ages, like back when Russia was, coming too. Okay, now technology has caught up with that of America, all right? And not only that, but they have another powerhouse in China, okay, and Iran. So, America's not looking so, lopsided one side anymore, okay? It's looking like it's getting ready to be ripe for the sickle, for the harvest, okay? Now it says Tel Aviv, Israel, China conducted joint military drills this week with Russia and Iran in the Gulf of Oman, a critical water conduit near the entry to the Persian Gulf. The 5-day exercise, Maritime Security Belt 2024, involved both naval and aviation forces, with the primary objective of enhancing the security of maritime economic activities, according to Russia's Ministry of Defense. Okay, let's see what else this article has. It says the drills may have been planned long in advance of the current Israel-Hamas war, but their implication and message to regional players in the West are highly significant, analysts say. Right, because when you go on to read this, article, it tells how that, they want, speaking of, I don't know if it's this article or maybe it's another article, but the G7 wants Iran to, have the Houthis to, back off, okay? I might do a part two. But it says the drills may have been planned long in advance of the current Israel-Hamas war, but their implication and message to the regional players in the West are highly significant, analysts say. More than 20 ships, combat boats, support carriers, and Navy helicopters participated in the exercise. Iran's semi-official Mar News Agency report that Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, debuted new warships in the exercise, including the Shahad Soleimani corvette. Okay, and if you brothers and few sisters have ever played that, game Battleship, where you go and call out a number B12, that's pretty much what's going on right here. They setting their ships up and everything in play, and soon they're gonna start calling out these numbers, and America's gonna get hit into that, until it be sank completely. Okay, so you seeing, you know, things being put into place for, that inevitable war, World War III that's gonna break out. Okay, so you seeing under the maritime, what do they call it? under the maritime exercise that, they are pretty much exercising and showing off, their new toys, okay? And it might have not been Iran that G7 was trying to tell to have the Houthis to back down, but it might have been China. So we have to see if I do another video, if I can bring that article up, if it's still available. So a little bit more about this article before we go into a few scriptures. It says, pay close attention to anti-ship missiles on ships. Minnick said the U.S. Navy has a real problem with these types of missiles, right? Because they're no longer, the head, in charge, okay? You got runner-ups that's, trying to, fight for that number one spot, okay? And this BRICS alliance, poses a serious threat to, NATO, EU, and America, all right? Not only economically, but military as well. It says anymore. It says, okay, this phrase right here, this paragraph right here says, this gives the U.S. Navy a nightmare scenario of being saturated by multi-directional vectors of attacks that cannot possibly defeat en masse, Minnick says, like being attacked by bees or ants. Eventually they will get you, right? And enough of them can send you to the hospital, and it also can send you to, what do they call that, anaphylactic shock. So, enough bees and ants, could take a person out, all right? And enough of these right here could take out this, powerhouse known as America, man. So you see how everything is lining up spiritually, okay? It says, analysts say Chinese, Russia, and Iran objectives go far beyond the IRGC top naval commander's stated claims. The Chinese and the Russians are using this exercise as a variety of tools disposable to them to show their presence and to pressure the West, said Mir Jafander, who teaches Iranian security studies at Rickman University in Herzliya, Israel. Okay, so like I said, this exercise is doing more than just, showing, certain drills. It's showing the West that, we here, we not to be played around with, okay? So the technology has caught up. And now the West is no longer, that head, in charge, that HNIC, that head ninja in charge, okay? Now what? They have, strong competition, okay? Times have caught up with them. So now, everything is in place, for that World War III to pop off. All right. We just have to wait and be patient because we know the mark has to be implemented first. All right. So we know that the mark must be around the corner or coming close, because why? You seeing all these, wartime exercises being, played out. So they're getting ready to roll out with that mark. All right. So let's go get a few scriptures and let's take it from there. All right, this is Jeremiah 50, verse 9, and it reads, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From this shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. All right? And what are you seeing? You seeing in these drills, these are great nations that's getting ready to rise up against Babylon the Great, okay? And their arrows are not going to return in what? In vain. They're going to hit their intended targets, which is America, okay? These nations have been licking their chops, ready to, roll on America. They've been waiting on this day, this time, okay? They're ready to take this powerhouse out of position, all right? So you seeing, and you're going to hear more and more, all right? Things are only going to escalate, and we pray through the power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai that he brings it, all right? Because we're ready to get up out of here. Now it says, I will set what? Let's read it. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. And we read some of them, Iran, Russia, China. Those are great nations, okay? And they're on, equal rights, okay? So it says, uh, and they shall set themselves in array against her. Okay, and they're gonna, position themselves strategically and the appropriate positions when they let go of those missiles, those arrows, to release on America to, completely bring her down. It says what? Their arrows shall be as of mighty expert men. None shall return in vain. In Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh. Right, and we know Chaldea or the Chaldeans were like highly, exalted individuals of the Babylonian dynasty. Okay, they were their prognosticators, their wizards, and things of that nature. Okay, so it says, in Chaldea should be a spoil. And America is that Chaldea, okay? It's going to be a spoil, a prey. It says what? All that spoil her should be satisfied, saith Yahweh, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Right? And America, got fat off the backs of the Israelites, okay? It says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land in a desert. So there's not going to be any part of America that's going to, go unscathed. It's all going to get torched and scorched by those missiles. It's going to be a dry desert, a dry land. 13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Right. And they're going to see it being televised live. They're going to see the destruction of Babylon, via by the way of their smartphones, telephones, or whatever. And they're going to say, is that great city? Because they're going to see the downfall of Babylon. Okay. It says 13, because the wrath of Yahweh shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Right. And we know, due to the sins that has reached the heavens, that, Yahweh is getting ready to bring judgment to this place. Revelation 18 and 6. This is Revelation 18 in verse 6. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she had filled, fill to her double. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. Okay, that's those missiles coming, man. Babylon has no, has no way of escaping, man. It's pretty much a done deal. Okay, it's only a matter of time. It says, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Right, and this is all judgment coming to Babylon. Because if we jump up a few verses, it says what? Is it? Let me see if I can get it. Verse 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Right, so her sins have reached have reached the heavens. America, has to be punished. All right, there's no way around it. If she could have been healed, she would have been healed, but she cannot be healed. So it's all according to prophecy. Babylon the Great, America is through. All right, and you seeing the works, being put into place for that specific day. All right, this is Jeremiah 51 in verse. Let's start at 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand. that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Right. So you seeing the results of these nations, drinking the wine of America, their policies, their philosophies, their ideologies, they've grown mad. Okay. And now they getting ready to release that anger, man. And three of the powerhouses, the great nations that have the capability of doing so, is in alliance. BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, uh, China, and South Africa. You have three powerhouses that's, doing drills, out there in the Gulf, okay, which is Russia, Iran, and China, okay? Those are great nations. It says Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm. Okay, and balm is what you use like an ointment to, treat burns and things of that magnitude. It says, for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Right. So if it was possible for Babylon to be healed, she would be healed. She would have balm to, put on her burn scars. It says what? Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right. So this is it for Babylon, man. It's finished, okay? It's only just a matter of time. Just a couple of more prophecies. You got the famine of the word. Then you're going to have, Jacob's trouble. Then you're going to have, the mark to be implemented. And then that's when the great nations are going to release those arrows and do away with America. And that's going to be it, okay? No more America. No more Babylon the Great. It's going to be desolate, all right? It's not going to be inhabited by any more people, all right? Now, jumping back in verse 50, where we at in verse 13, I believe, it said what? Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. So these are the nations that's equipped with the, nuclear technology to bring down Babylon. Yahweh is telling them to put themselves in array, in specific formation. That what? Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. Let's go into that word array to see exactly what it says.
Strong's H, 6186. Arach. Arach.
Okay, he says Arach. And let's look at one of the outline of biblical usage. It says to arrange, set, or put, or lay in order. Okay, so Yahweh is telling these nations to put themselves in order, okay, and put yourself strategically around, the border of Babylon, which is America, okay? So they're setting themselves strategically around Babylon to be in perfect position to when these missiles are ready to be fired, they're going to hit their intended target, which is Babylon the Great. It says set in array, prepare, order, ordain, handle, furnish, esteem, equal, direct, compare. Okay, so you get the picture. There's not going to be no escaping from out of Babylon. And those that have the means and the, whereabouts to do so, that have these bunkers that's going to flee, like we did in another video, like Zuckerberg, who has a bunker in Sweden. Well, he's going to get, hunted out of those bunkers, okay? So there's no escaping the judgment of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Now it says, 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh. Okay, so this is going to be it. This is going to be the nations last time to use all those arrows, those missiles, they're not going to be able to use it no more after this right here, because there's not going to be any more war after Israel, Yasharallah coming to, power under our Lord and Savior Yahushua. So all these nations, that have all these missiles, what do you think they got them for? Okay, not to hang them up in a museum. No, they're going to get ready to put them in array against Babylon the Great and let them go. Okay, so this Chaldea, that we read up in verse 10, it says, in Chaldea should be a spoil or prey. Right. So America, Babylon the Great, the Chaldean is going to be a spoil or prey, Furthermore, showing you in Isaiah the 47th chapter, where it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground, right? Because this place has never had an outside attack, committed on it before, from any other nations, okay? Now it has had civil wars, but never a war from another nation has, breached the grounds of America, Babylon the Great. But it's a virgin in that sense, but soon it's not going to be a virgin anymore. Because why? Those missiles are coming to penetrate it, all right? Coming to take its virginity. It's going to destroy this place. It says, come. It says, come down, verse 1, and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, or O daughter of the Chaldeans. We read that, the Chaldeans, okay? This is the daughter of the Chaldeans, all right? And those people, the Chaldeans, like I said, they were prognosticators, they were wizards. They were things of that magnitude, okay? And we know America, through their, banking, financing institutes, they do prognosticating, whether it's a stock market, whatever it is, the institutions, whatever, okay? It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right, so this is it. America's gonna be finished, man, and we seeing it. We getting ready to see it live, living it live and in person. Okay, and for those of us that endure to the end, we're gonna be delivered out of it. Okay, we're gonna go get called up into the chariots while the others have to stay down here and feel the full, full brunt of the force of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so America, Babylon the Great is finished. This is part one. If it be the good Lord's will, I can find that article about, the G7. All right. So let's close out with that, and then let's take it from there. 1 Peter 5 in verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right. And if you don't have your wits about you and know what time you in, and have this wisdom, knowledge, and stability, you're going to be, easy prey, okay? Because this place is getting ready to be destroyed, whether you know it or not. So it would, be on your best interest to, have everything put in order and have all your affairs in order, all right? So with that being said, I pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the good Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.